Have you ever wondered what it's like to play on the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour? To prepare on a top pro team with the best Magic players to ever play the game? Have you ever imagined yourself in top 8 of a Pro Tour, or even taking down the trophy? Would you like to look behind the curtain to see what it takes to get to the top? Well, then let's go behind the Pro Tour.
The Magic the Gathering Pro Tour has been around since 1996 and is the pinnacle of competitive card gaming. In the last 30 years of the Pro Tour, history has been made, legends have been born, and even more have dreamed of chasing that eternal glory.
Gut shot for the win! Shot off the top for Luis shot for the win! Absolutely, this is crowd. Look at that!
Well, it looks like the tears have stopped and the smiles you hear. No, he's going for both at the same time.
It's not going to stop.
For now, we turn to Chicago, setting the stage for the first Pro Tour of 2025. Team Channel Fireball Ultimate Guard, now known as Team TCG Player, is comprised of some of the best players to ever play the game.
Oh, goodness! He's got 1 point of life left.
That's 7 Pro Tour victories in about 3.5-year span.
And Reid Duke is the champion.
Renting out the penthouse of a Chicago apartment, the team has arrived to prepare for the event 1 week early. For some players, the first Pro Tour of the season sets the stage to continue to build on a Hall of Fame career. For others, goals are a little more humble. The step 1 to building a good season is making sure you are qualified for the next event. With only 5 days until the tournament, players need to perfect and submit their standard deck lists, as well as prepare for a totally fresh draft environment.
Today, on day 1, I feel not so confident. However, I've done this a lot, and the normal trajectory is that my confidence level kind of scales up as we get closer to the tournament. I play a lot more Magic in close proximity to the Pro Tour, so I'm coming in kind of like out of shape and don't have a deck that I like, and I've only done a couple booster drafts, so I feel like I have so much to learn. But also that's why we're here, right? And I think over the next 72, 96 hours, I'm gonna be in great shape and give myself the best possible chance. I'm seeing today as sort of like the last chance to try out ideas.
I'm working on the Goblin deck, and Reid's working on a control deck. We have red decks, we have the Domainy big decks, and we have the blue bounty decks. And you want to be able to beat at least 2 or 3 of those, hopefully, ideally all of them.
Right now, I am really excited about a card called Stock Up, similar to one of my old favorites, Dig Through Time, but it's tough to get everything right, and the existing decks are really good in this format, don't give you a lot of breathing room. And if it's not gonna work out, those decks let you know pretty quickly, and you could just go back to the drawing board.
The house spent the next few hours jamming constructed games, slowly narrowing their options of deck choice. After a lunch break, it was time for the first draft, but with more than 8 people, participants were randomly decided.
Matt Costa is in, and Noah is in. Day 1 showing up in Chicago, I really don't feel like I know what I'm doing. Hoping to learn by osmosis from just being around a lot of smart people who've done a lot of drafts. I actually, usually before the Pro Tour, I do a lot fewer drafts than you might expect, but I just spend a lot of time learning and studying, getting a feel for how the people around me like to approach the format. Watched John do a full draft. He drafted a color combination I've never drafted before, so I feel like I'm learning a lot already. When we do these in-person drafts with 8 really, really strong Pro Tour players, it's a tougher environment than when you draft online. You're not getting good cards late, people are fighting over the best archetypes and colors. That's really important preparation for the Pro Tour.
Jim, how is your draft deck looking?
My first time playing the artifact deck, so I don't really know. In my head, it's good, theoretically. So, first draft was cool. The deck was pretty good. First time drafting got artifacts. Played some weird cards, which I kind of liked. It's good to experiment in these drafts, try a bunch of different things, which is cool. Just fun, also holding the cards. The games are long, though. Whew. I've also presented lethal probably 24 times so far across these games, and not been able to seal the deal. I got decked in the first match by the Millstone artifact, and It was cool though. Good to battle with the games and good to play with the actual cards as well. Obviously, when you're playing at the Pro Tour, you need to be physically playing with the cards and playing in a speedy fashion as well, because it's going to be a slow draft format.
The team had a late dinner after the draft before wrapping up the day.
But it was a great Sunday, just played a lot of standard, which is exactly what I needed. What I didn't do is play any limited. I get a lot more out of watching and studying limited and less out of just putting in a lot of hours of playing my own games. So I got to watch John Finkel, best limited player in history, do a draft and chat with him about the picks and stuff. So that's about it as good as you can get.
This looks like a 9, but it's actually a 6.
Seeing the whole process start to finish of okay, this is how the draft goes, where you can see this as an open lane. This is the way you structure your deck. This is the finished product. Here's how it went. We went 2-1, which is a pretty good record at this level of competition. Basically some real-time experience.
Players had a late dinner after the draft before wrapping up the day with some standard prep. Jim, how did standard testing go today?
I played against Gruul with the Goblin deck, and it didn't go as well as I would have liked. It feels like an old school Magic deck. It feels like a deck from 15 years ago, where you're just playing 16 mountains. Your deck kind of does this thing, does it pretty well. Your cards are kind of scrappy. Whereas these days, every card in every deck is really, really good. I'm not feeling super hopeful, which makes me very sad, unfortunately.
I think we're going to be there. We have a great team. Everyone's working hard. We have a lot of good leads.
Tomorrow is going to be quash things and move on. That's kind of sucks. It's the saddest part of a testing process where at the start you have always cool ideas. You're oh, I want to try this, I want to try that, I want to try this. And then eventually most ideas don't work. And you hit the spot where you're can't try ideas anymore, have to have a functional deck for the Pro Tour.
We've got plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and they all, one of them is going to work out. We're going to have a good deck one way or another.
I've made scrambled eggs on a long time for someone's going to be winging it here.
Jim made eggs and pancakes. Thank you, Jim. But yeah, it's been a good morning. I woke up early, took care of myself, did a bunch of organizational tasks. For me personally, I feel like I need to get an in-person draft with the team. We have one scheduled for 11:30 a.m., a couple hours from now. And in terms of constructed, for me, I think we have one more promising deck, which is Jeskai Oculus, that we need to play more with. And if that doesn't work out, it's just time to, cut our losses and try to build a really good version of one of the established, known quantity type decks.
Staying in the testing house is a lot of time and proximity with the other pros. What's your take on that?
Martin was being a real dick this morning. I think we have a really good dynamic. We have lots of space, which is important for me because, I love everybody here and I also get burned out and need to go, sit quietly in a corner sometimes. And I feel like I can do that here, sort of keep myself healthy and sane. But everyone's been getting along. I think everyone's bringing a lot of really important and sometimes different strengths to the team. So I couldn't be happier with the dynamic and the way we're tackling these really tough problems.
This is one of the coolest places I've ever stayed. We're on the top floor of this really nice building in freaking the middle of Chicago. This place is awesome. Everyone's so cool. Just a really, really awesome hangout experience, aside from the fact that we are working towards this goal.
Are you feeling any pressure for this Pro Tour?
Not currently queued for the next one. I would like to. If I do, cool. If not, that's fine also. This ride's gone on for quite longer than I thought it would when I kind of accidentally queued for the online PT.
Editor's note, Jim is being a bit modest here. After he went undefeated in the Swiss and made top 8 of the Neon Dynasty Championship, then took 5th place on tiebreakers at the 2022 World Championship, Jim is one of only 7 players to qualify for and play in every Pro Tour and World Championship since the return of the Paper Pro Tour. After poor day 2s at Pro Tour MH3 and the 2024 World Championship, this is the last Pro Tour he is currently qualified for, and he must make day 2 to re-qualify for the next one.
So, just gonna let it ride. Just gonna play.
Magic players are still human beings. It's important to take breaks, get moving, and these pros know that.
That one, cut that one out. That one, cut that one out too. Second draft here went pretty good. I went 2-1. Lost to Finkel in the last round. Ended up as like a green-white kind of aggressive deck, some starter engine stuff. Good draft, felt pretty good. Definitely weird being aggro in this format. It's definitely a very non-aggro format, but the deck kind of worked out.
I drafted blue-green, which was my first time playing that color combination. I went 2-1. Yeah, I had a really interesting second pick. I first picked a blue-green gold card, and there wasn't anything that matched my colors, but there was some pretty, variety of strong off-color cards. Did sort of like a retrospective with my teammates after the draft, talked it over. There was a better path available to me than the one that I took. That's great practice, right? You get the tough situations where you don't know what to do out of the way here so that you have a better idea of what to do at the Pro Tour.
After a short lunch break, players met with their virtual teammates for a constructed meeting.
So do we have remote people? Can you hear us?
Yeah, so we had our meeting, kind of went over things, try and coalesce a little bit. Obviously, time's running short. It is Monday. Decks are due in a day and a half, which is very soon. Jessica deck is looking pretty cool. We've been playing more games with it. Me and John playing some games. We're gonna have dinner and then play some more. Figuring out plans is very important, kind of like what you want to do in each matchup, what each matchup looks like, and then how you can fix and make things better. Gab's got a pretty sweet black-white deck he's working on, a little extra bounce stuff. Perhaps a late dark horse contender. It's been doing pretty well in the last few hours, so that could be an option as well. And it's crunch time. I think that this is the point where everyone starts to feel the pressure of like, oh my God, decks are due. Everyone starts to get a little, antsy about their choices or whatever. You have a domain crew, kind of think about domain and stuff. Realizing that they'll have to play a mirror if they play the deck possibly, and how that could affect like going to time and addresses building. Things are good though, we're working hard. Tomorrow is a big wrap-up day. Tomorrow is like, constructed needs to be complete by tomorrow. Ideally, we'll have our decks chosen by at least tomorrow afternoon, because there's also a part of the process that needs to be like tuning, going over sideboard plans, going over sideboard guides, figuring out you have all the right cards. Don't want to be in the Pro Tour round 2, play against Esper Pixie, realize I have 2 cards to come in and 7 cards to come out. That's not where you want to be. So tomorrow is a bit of that fine-tuning stuff, but you have to lock in the decks first and also buy the cards as well. So tomorrow's a big day, a lot going on. All right, set a nice big bowl of Frosted Flakes, which is fun for me because I'm old and I eat Raisin Bran when I'm home, but like Pro Tour trips are definitely a bit of a vacation for me. So when I come out, try to have a splurge a little bit, which is very exciting for me at 40 years old. First order of business is an Oculus meeting. Deck lists are officially due on Wednesday at noon, but we have to have a deck chosen by this afternoon so you can make sure we can go through, pick out all our cards, get everything kind of set up as far as plans for every matchup. It's a big day and a lot of work to do. I think we're pretty locked in on Oculus at this point. Some last few slots to fill. If we could play, say, 7 copies of Fear of Missing Out, and like kind of the fun part of deck building where like you have a niche hole to fill and you need to choose a card that might not be like the best card in the format, but if it fills that role really well, it kind of hold the whole room together, which is cool. So we're in that process right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of loving the idea of Duelist of Mine. There's also just a lot of 2/2 flyings in the format. You're not super good at committing crimes, but like I think 0/3 flyer is actually pretty good sizing for this format.
Despite heavy consideration, the team ended up not submitting Duelist of the Mind. Sorry, Nathan. What's going on? What are we doing right now?
We're just taking a team photo, which is a thing we don't usually get to do, honestly. It's very, very hard to wrangle everyone. Trying to solve the domain matchup. I feel like our deck is like, Jeskai is pretty good against everything but domain, which is a scary one. It's a big thing in tournaments where like, you need to obviously predict the metagame and decide like what shots you're willing to take and what risks you're willing to take. If domain is 12% of the field, is it worth, if it's a terrible matchup, is that okay or not? We're getting there. Of course, submission is soon. We have T-minus 24 hours submission, but I think I'm feeling pretty good.
The team spent the next several hours jamming standard games.
Yeah, it was a long day. I would say today was the first day I just really got in the zone. Just sat down at a table with first Jim and then John and played for like hours of standard.
Kill you.
Nice, good job. So that felt good to just like really dive in. Then we looked at the numbers, chatted with the team, tried to synthesize everything we learned, and we picked our deck. I can't say it's the most confident I've felt. You know, like the dream at the start of every Pro Tour preparation, you're gonna find some kind of secret awesome deck that puts you a step ahead of the competition. And I think this is one of those times that it didn't happen. So instead, it's shift your sights to do the best you can with whatever deck you pick. And in this case, I picked Domain, which is a really powerful deck. I enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, I'm at peace with the deck choice. It's not revolutionary, but it's going to be good, and we're going to do well.
The team played Standard basically all day today. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, playing long hours of Magic is exhausting for sure. Like, you feel fried, and I think I really enjoyed the experience of like the long session today, but you can't do that over and over again until you just burn out. I think it's really important to build in moments of digestion and quiet so that you can actually make sure that you're like learning and processing what's going on instead of just going. And then if you have this iterative process where you play a lot, process what you learned, you know, do it again. I think that's the best for learning.
It's been an exhausting day. This is always, I feel like the toughest day of testing is always Tuesday. Deck lists are due Wednesday at noon. Everyone knows that. Everyone really wants to lock in. Really stressful day. Wavered a bit. I'm playing Oculus. I think Domain's a good choice also. We look at all of our numbers and stuff, and it's just sort of like the shell game of like Domain is bad against Gruul, which is gonna be the most popular deck, but good against everything else. I feel like you're rarely ever super happy on deck submission because there's always the nagging feelings of like, you know, am I making the right choices? I'm not really sure. It's funny, the last Chicago was one of the few times where the kind of dream scenario of the team finds a really, really good deck, almost everyone plays it, and we crush. That was the Vampires in Pioneer Pro Tour, where my entire team played it. No one else in the field played it. We came in first place, Sam was in top 8, the whole team crushed, the whole team made day 2. None of that this time around. It's honestly a rarity. You know, most Pro Tours are more like this. I'm just pooped. You start to feel it a few days into the process, you know, where the combination of the physical preparation of just playing Magic for hours and hours and hours, and the mental exhaustion of the stress of like, well, what are we gonna do? Time's running out. What are we gonna do? Time's running out. You know, so today's a tough day. There's gonna be a feeling of comfort tomorrow once noon comes, you know, and the deadline is passed and you know your pencil's down and it's out of your hands at that point. All right, it is 8:30-ish. Walking over from our unit to the main unit to have some breakfast. Took a shower. Honestly, my sinuses are a little rough. One of the things about you're traveling is like you're not home in the comfort of your own home, which can be a taxing experience as well. But we're going over and we're going to iron out the last sideboard slots of our deck, make sure our sideboard map works out, figure out the last few slots and submit. That's that. All right, it's 12:02, decks are in, submission is done. Feeling pretty good, honestly. I decided to play Oculus. I wavered a bit last night. I was feeling a little, you know, always get a little antsy before submission. Like a third of the team playing the deck. A lot of folks are playing Domain.
Sort of made peace with submitting the Domain deck, even though I wasn't super excited about it.
A good meeting, you know, really important to have that last meeting. We laid the whole deck out. And we just go over all the matchups and physically sideboarding. Okay, so these cards coming in, these cards coming out. What's good here, what's good there? We discovered that Loran, which is a card that wasn't even in the deck 12 hours ago, filled that main deck slot quite well that we were worried about, and also a sideboard slot. A lot of the testing process is playing games empirically, but there also needs to be a period of come together and talk about what you learned. You know, I learned certain things, you learned certain things, share the information, and just talk it all out. So, and then next up is the limited meeting.
I'm gonna have to pay attention, really do my homework, because I'm like remarkably underprepared for limited.
Absolute shitload of information. It's a lot, but it's really, really useful. Especially for me, I've only done like 7 drafts at this point.
Be ready when the Pro Tour comes that if I face an unfamiliar situation, the knowledge that I get in this limited meeting is gonna prepare me to handle it well.
The second copy is starting to get a little sketchy and I'll often be looking to cut it. I am also pretty happy to sideboard out Broken Wings fairly often. Like
Sam Pardee runs the limited meeting and starts by going over every single common and uncommon in the set. That's 196 cards, ranking them by his pick order. Players then share their experiences, debating back and forth and adjusting the pick order accordingly. These players aren't afraid to challenge or disagree with one another when it comes to individual card evaluation or how to interpret data.
I think the better way to use 17 lands is to look at it and be like, oh, that's interesting. Am I missing something? Should I look at this a second time? Instead of like, as you put it, like trusting it. You know, like I think you should trust yourself over 17 lands like any time in the Pro Tour.
Teammates who cannot be physically present still participate over Discord using a sophisticated technical solution.
1-3 is actually pretty respectable.
So we are, God, how many hours deep in the limited meeting? 3 hours, 4 hours? Take a little break now.
Yeah.
Commons and uncommons are done. Archetypes are done. We have stats to go over, rares to go over.
When I played against it, it hasn't impressed me that much. Yeah, just
I wanted to know that.
I think so. It's really, really good. It just puts people behind so far.
I mean, I wish it were vanilla.
All right. Wednesday night. Limited meeting is done. Our decks are submitted. I'm exhausted. About 5 grueling hours. It's a ton of information. I love a limited meeting. I know some guys on the team kind of like float, they're on their phones, whatever. I'm always sitting right next to Sam or Luis, front and center, because I want to take in everything, you know, realistically. Feel a little heavy, but now we're done. I went downstairs, shot some hoops, went to the gym for a little bit. It's really, really important to get exercise, kind of take care of yourself. One of the fun things we do is we just fire up a draft on the TV, so we can all kind of watch a draft together, talk over the picks. It's a good way to kind of like get into everyone else's head beyond just talking about cards like, oh, is this card good? So you get like a real world scenario of here's a draft. What would you take? You know, we have these 11 cards and this card's here. What would you take? And kind of hearing everyone's opinions, really, really cool. Just a fun activity to do that's not as intense as doing an actual draft, but still kind of communal and still learning.
Reid wisely retired early after the limited meeting. We'll catch up with him tomorrow.
The limited meeting was an epic 5.5 hour marathon. It was I was really drained by the end of it, even though I hadn't, like, in theory, done anything. There's no physical activity. I wasn't running the meeting. It was just stay focused and like try to absorb that level of information. I was fried by the end. Now I feel a lot more confident in my ability to like handle an unfamiliar situation if I faced one in the Pro Tour draft.
It's checkout day. It goes by really, really fast. Last 4 days, just constant testing, a whirlwind of just information and games and stuff, and today's the calm before the storm.
I've done everything I need to do. The preparation is here. Now it's time to just do my thing, play the tournament, have fun. So I'm actually feeling pretty good today.
During testing, the team only had 1 to maybe 2 of each deck. Now that the deck lists are submitted, each player must physically put their 75 together.
Christmas morning of a testing house is finding out the metagame breakdown, which is extremely important. We spent the last multiple weeks trying to predict what the metagame would be, how our deck would line up against it, and all the choices we made were informed by our predictions. So if those don't line up with reality, it can be very, very bad, and if they do line up, it's great. So it's a huge, huge deal. Very excited to see what the metagame is.
Okay, the metagame breakdown just came out, so we don't get to see anyone's deck list, but we get to see how many people played each archetype. We were pretty close on the top couple, so 19% Gruul is the actual number. I think we said 17% when we were guessing. 17% Esper Pixie, no surprise there. 15% Domain Overlords. Now there's a little bit more Oculus than we thought, and most of our competitors agreed with our team that Jeskai Oculus was the best version. So, about 9% total Oculus. The place where we were really wrong is there's only 2.6% of the field, 9 players playing Dimir Bounce, and Matt Costa and Luna are 2 of them, so only 7 other people showed up with that deck, which we thought was going to be a major player.
The biggest surprise here is Jeskai Oculus. We didn't really have that aside from us, we thought we were being novel and unique, and it's the fourth most played deck.
How many of us are playing it?
6.
So there's 15 other people playing it.
Yeah, like,
Could be a team.
Yeah. Although I'm very happy that Gruul and Esper are like the 2 most played decks. I guess the Domain being also happy to play. It's kind of rough too, but it's good.
Yeah, we knew Domain was going to be pretty big though.
Yeah.
The usual, leaving the apartment with a 52% win rate deck, hoping to not miss our 3rd land drops. Yep.
Yeah.
Testing done.
4 days of work, 52%. There we go.
What's like the dollars spent to percentage earned ratio on this?
I don't think you want to do that, man. It'd probably make you very sad.
A big part of the Pro Tour lifestyle is living out of a suitcase, hopping from rented room to rented room, city to city, country to country, every couple months, year over year.
I mean, when I was 20, it was like, 5 people sleeping on the floor in the Red Roof Inn. And today, it's like we actually have a pretty nice hotel. Probably get my own bed if I'm lucky. And no more sleeping in the closet, I hope.
I mean, I like it, but this is a peak performance looks like. Just finished draft on Arena, gonna head downstairs and draft with the crew. One last draft before the Pro Tour. Let's do it.
See, all the pros say that they're going to take a break on Thursday and not play any Magic, but as soon as one person wants to draft, you know what they're going to do. After the draft, it was time to head to the convention center. Martin, what are you doing over there right now?
I'm going through cards that my friend brought for me,
Get some foils in there?
but there's some foils, yeah. And
That's a problem.
I'm not a huge fan of playing foils, yeah. I used to bring all the cards myself, and now I'm playing like a Land Station Negate or whatever. Like, what is this?
We're online here for the pro player party, kind of like Hunger Games style, where you're all partying and stuff the day before, but you gotta go in and kill each other, so.
Was not only crowned world champion for the 2nd time, but also is the recipient of the High Order Player of the Year trophy.
All right, here we are. We are at the Pro Tour, and you can see here everyone's hanging out, and of course we get our swag bag, which you sign up for the Pro Tour, you get your badge, of course. Let's see what's in here. All right, we got what do we got in here? We got a Pro Tour playmat. That's kind of cool. Some boosty packs. They used to give out the Pro Tour T-shirts. I kind of miss those, honestly. I used to cherish my old school Pro Tour T-shirts. We got a whole room full of folks here who are ready to play the Pro Tour, ready to play some Magic. Like I said, though, come tomorrow, we're going to be in the arena trying to kill each other. Only one person will come out alive. Last time I was in this building, it was Seth. Seth Manfield won the Pro Tour right up there. I was on stage with him. Pretty freaking cool. And I would love to see something like that again. Tomorrow's the day.
After that, it was back to the hotel and time to unwind with a hockey game.
Man, I'll tell you, I hit the wall. I'm exhausted, which is probably a good thing because I'm just going to go to sleep early and hopefully sleep well, get up feeling refreshed.
We just had some drinks and some burgers. One drink before the Pro Tour, no more. And watched the hockey game, USA and Canada. It's been a really, really long few days, but this is what it all comes to. Get a good night's sleep, if I can, obviously. Tomorrow morning's the Pro Tour. See you there. All right, we're up. I was up at 6:30 this morning, the dry air killing me. Looks good. I went to the gym, got to work out, get the blood going, stretch it out a little bit, and now we're waiting for our Uber. We're ready to go. All right, folks, here we are. We're at the frickin' Pro Tour, and it's 8:50. We got a draft to do, we got standard to do. This is what it all comes down to. We've been prepping the entire week for this moment right here.
I just feel really basically excited to play. There's some nerves, but that comes from just passion and excitement.
It's important to not get lost in the moment. I think it's easy to put a lot of preparation in and put a lot of pressure on yourself to succeed because of the preparation, but Magic's magic. I'm gonna shoot my shot today. I'm gonna play as well as I can, and hopefully the results bear out.
I just want to sit down and focus and do my best and have a lot of fun.
Let's do what we can, so let's shuffle up and play.
With no more delay, I will hand you over to your head judge, Carlos Ho.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the largest Pro Tour since 2020. This is professional REL level, so please keep that in mind. Communicate clearly. Talk to your opponents.
5 seconds. And draft. Please lay out the cards to your right. There should be 11 cards.
These days, Pro Tours are structured with 16 rounds of Swiss split between 2 days. Both Friday and Saturday begin with 3 rounds of draft, followed by 5 rounds of constructed. Then on Sunday, we cut to a single elimination top 8 bracket playing best of 5 untimed constructed matches. Our pros just finished their 3 rounds of draft. Let's check in and see how it went.
All right, so 1-2 for draft. My deck wasn't great. Lost to Anthony Lee in the first round. Great player from Handshake. He had a really good deck with loot in it, and he looted early and often against me. Casting bolts and recalls and everything else. Lost to a Boar second round 2. Got round 3. Not the result we wanted, obviously. 1-2. But my draft deck wasn't great. Drafts are tough. Pro Tour's tough. Gotta just get constructed here and just do what I can do.
I started with kind of a tough draft where I had to go off script and play white-red, which was one of the color combinations we were not super happy to go into. But that's booster draft. You have to be dynamic and be willing to go where you need to go. And I went 2-1 with Boros.
All right, players, pairings for round number 4 are now posted in the hall.
It's been a few hours, Jim. How is constructed going?
All right, so not a great start of a day. 2 domain opponents. I got one of them. It's a bad matchup. But last round I played against John Finkel, and I've actually never played against John in my entire Magic career, despite being both from the New York area. Really freaking cool. Losing sucked, I guess. Saying you lost John Finkel isn't really that. That's a good one to have on the resume anyway. So we're 2-3 now, 2-4 now. Oh my God. So we got 2 matches left. I got to win both next matches to make day 2 and keep my streak alive. Let's go. Back at the hotel room, feeling pretty bummed. I lost my last round playing for day 2. That breaks my streak of making day 2 at every Pro Tour. That also means I've fallen off the tour. I'm not qualified for the next Pro Tour, and making day 2 is basically what you need to do to keep coming back. I'm feeling pretty sad right now, I'm not gonna lie. Team did great. We have Matt and Ass at 8-0, and team's doing really, really good. So tomorrow we're gonna cheer them on. It's the last chance PTQ on Sunday. For now, I'm just going to go to bed, though, and try and process all this. All right, so we're back. It's Saturday. It's day 2 of the Pro Tour. Obviously, I'm pretty bummed. Last night was pretty heavy, a lot to take in. I've been on the tour now for almost 3 years, almost by accident. It's been a crazy run. For the moment, I'm not qualified for anything anymore. Definitely a feeling of is this the end of the run? I don't really know. But today, I'm a cheerleader. The team absolutely crushed it. Every player on the team besides me made day 2. Everyone's in contention for top 8, so hoping for a really, really good day for the team. Team crushed it yesterday. Matt, you're 8-0. What's the mentality coming into today?
Yeah, mostly that the job's not done. I'm feels really good to be 8-0, but trying not to get too much in my head. I think I've done it before. I've seen other people do it before where they start off really hot and then they get too excited and fall off on day 2. So
I did that last year. This has got to be the biggest bummer of not making day 2 of the Pro Tour. They're all drafting and I'm not, and that's incredibly sad. So is what it is. That's just part of the life of Magic. You can't make day 2 every time. You can't do well every time. Sometimes you got to just keep on going. So PTQ today, cheering on the team today. Hope everyone does well.
While Jim fights for slim odds to get a PT seat in the dungeon, let's check in with Reid's constructed games from yesterday.
The constructed rounds went really well. I went 4-0-1. My draw was in a domain mirror match where game 1 took 33 minutes, and then we split games 1 and 2 and didn't even get to start game 3. And so I'm 6-1-1, which is pretty good. I'm in 12th place in the standings. I just drafted. My deck's okay.
12th place heading into day 2 is a really exciting place to be. How you feeling?
It feels really good. I have been here before, but Magic is just about giving yourself lots of opportunities. So last year I had actually the identical day 1 result where I was 6-1-1 in draft pod 2. And then I had kind of a crummy day 2. So I know that can happen, and it's a lot of excitement, but also just every single match counts and you got to be kind of focused and prepared for any outcome.
Matt Nass crushing it at the top of the leaderboard, but Jim's off the tour.
Well, yeah, really bummed for Jim. Again, sort of how Magic goes. It's like 15 really, really good players show up. You're going to have a distribution of outcomes. Some people are going to run good, some people are going to run bad. And so, it's expected that, you're going to have a bad day every once in a while. It happens to me all the time. One out of every, 4 or 5 or 6 Pro Tours, like you just bomb out, and that's what it is. So it stinks that it was Jim's turn to have a rough day, but super happy that overall the team did well, and it seems like we're validated in our preparation and our deck choice. But I'm sure Jim will be back. I mean, he's been here for years, and nothing really keeps him down for long.
Magic is, at the end of the day, a game of variance. While Matt Nass is sitting at the top of the leaderboard, hasn't dropped a match yet, he also hasn't been on the Pro Tour in the past 2 years. While Matt's defending the top table and Jim's scrapping in the dungeon, let's check in with Reid.
Well, I started at 0-2, which means that I was, having a really crummy day and kind of discouraged that I went from being in a good position to make a deep run to kind of middle of the pack. But I did win the last round, so 1-2, 7-3-1 overall. Yeah, so there's 5 rounds remaining. If I win all 5, I'll be in the top 8. If I win 4, it's a pretty strong finish, like maybe top 16, which is really, really good at the Pro Tour level. Even beyond that, it's just like a deep, day 2 Pro Tour run where every win or loss kind of impacts your standings for the year. So I'm hoping to just pick up as many wins as I can on the way to, World Championship and maybe even a big finish this weekend.
All right, so Matt Nass started out 8-0. He's now 12-1. And 12 wins is the magic number at the Pro Tour. So 12 wins, they automatically lock you up for the top 8 and literally remove you from the event so you can't play anymore. It sounds a little weird, but the idea here is that if you're 12-0, eventually there's no one who's at your record to play against. So you get paired down to a player who's 10-2. That creates a lot of awkward incentives, right? So I play against a teammate and I'll concede to him, try to get him in top 8. I play against someone who's not a teammate, maybe someone I think is really good, and I'll try and knock them out. I'll try and knock them out. So the system of having a player who has 12 wins out of a tournament, you're locked in and good to go, is a really, really good one. Matt's in, we're pumped for it. Pairing top 8 are based on seed. Matt will be the 1 seed, he's the first person to make it in. So that means he'll be able to play for all his matches, which is really, really important. Last time we were in this building, we won the trophy, so I'd love to do that again.
While the Pro Tour is happening on one side of the convention hall, there's also a whole Magic Con going on with a whole bunch of silly antics like this guy. Wow. Eventually, the dust settled on round 16 with Matt Nass at the top of the leaderboard. Let's check in with Reid and see how he did.
That's 11-4-1 final record for 13th place. It's not top 8, but I'm thrilled. So I get to take a breath because I'm not playing tomorrow. Sunday at the convention is always really fun for me because I got to go do all the stuff that I didn't get to do when the Pro Tour was going on. But the most important thing right now is Matt Nass is playing the top 8. So I just sent him a message. I said, hey man, I'm at your service if you want to practice or talk about your matchup tomorrow. Some people really want to put their nose to the grindstone and play a million games before the next day. Other people are like, oh, I just want to have dinner and get a good sleep and feel good tomorrow. Feeling really grateful for my teammates. Always at the end of a weekend like this, you're overwhelmed by wow, I couldn't have done this on my own. It feels great, and it feels great to do it as a team and to cheer on Matt, who had the big finish.
While just making top 8 of a Pro Tour is a feat in and of itself, Matt Nass isn't done yet.
All right, it's Sunday morning. I'm feeling a little groggy, honestly. The weekend's starting to catch up with me, but I have PTQ to play, but that doesn't matter. More importantly is Matt Nass is in top 8. He's our lone representative in top 8, number 1 seed, crushed the Swiss, has a really bad matchup in top 8. He's playing against the mono red deck. He isn't the play, but the mono red deck has a lot of burn in it. It's a lot more aggressive than the rule decks are, so it's just very, very fast and linear. Even more scary is 4 copies of Sunspine Links in the board, which is the price of progress creature. That also means you can't gain life. It is the perfect foil to Matt's domain deck. Matt has a really tough road ahead of him. Hopefully he can steal it.
While Matt has his work cut out for him in the quarterfinals, Jim will face his last shot to re-qualify for the next Pro Tour.
All right, so team-wise, we could not be happier. So we're in the player lounge, hanging out, and when I saw the match was over, I was a little worried because Matt was still standing there. His opponent was, talking to his friends and stuff, but Matt was able to take it down, which is sick. Really, really happy about it. He played the games for a reason, obviously, and now Matt's got a domain mirror in the semis, which is going to be a long, arduous match, so hopefully he can pull through. Best of 5, untimed, Grueling long mirror. No draws here. Gotta play to completion, so it's gonna be a long one.
Jim unfortunately lost in round 2 of his PTQ and moved on to a meet and greet with his sponsor, Ultimate Guard. When he returned a couple hours later, Matt was still playing his mirror match.
Matt Nass, a veteran of the game, has been in plenty day 3s. He's won so many GPs. Hasn't yet won a Pro Tour. Is this his weekend to do so as he gets in here with the entire team? And that is going to do it. Matt Nass gets into the finals of Pro Tour Aetherdrift here, taking down Christopher Leonard. Excellent job there from Matt Nass. And a grueling matchup. We didn't even see the first. There were still 40 minutes tacked onto that match. Now he has to somehow refuel all of that brain power, all of his things he needs to get back to go and do it all again against James.
All right, so great freaking news. Matt's in the finals. Everyone's watching in the lounge, and he's just went off to go to the green room, and he's getting prepped up for the finals. So he got an exciting one. He's very excited about it.
Wow. Okay. Leyline binding to take out the insect.
Well, he's got a Zur in hand, right? Just be aggressive. Matt Nass is down to 9 life.
I don't suppose life totals are
right. You're at 33, so yeah, probably. And I don't know that James has a lethal crackback, especially with all these spirits in play.
Matt was able to take down his quarter in semi-matches in only 4 games, but after splitting the first 4 games in the final, this trophy comes down to a decisive Game 5.
We are walking onto the stage. Matt's looking really good. We were watching in the Pro Tour lounge. Doing some curling in Game 5. Just pulled in a gate off a stock up, pretty head on board.
That is really big. That allows Matt Nass to not die to a Nissa off the top. The negate is 100% going into Matt Nass's hand.
I'll do those. You notice that his tone of voice doesn't change at all, even though that was a huge step towards him securing what could be a Pro Tour trophy here in Chicago.
It does feel like things are slipping away here for James.
Especially given his hand.
Block like this.
You know, if he had some action, maybe
so
something to trigger up the beanstalk and get something off the board, then it's like, hey, anything goes.
Yeah, so we came out here, obviously, because things were looking really good. And then I made the asinine comment that probably the only card that matters is Atraxa, because it's the only card you can't negate. And then Matt's opponent played Atraxa within 3 seconds of me saying that.
Atraxa!
He did find Atraxa off the top of the library. So that's Day of Judgment there.
Day, Beans, Port.
This is tough. James has now got 2 beanstalks in play. He is right back in this game, I think.
That draw was so nice for James.
It's just insane, man. I think Matt will win, but it's a barn burner. James at 54, and Matt's like counting up to see if he can make lethal, you know? Counting max of 48.
It's 18 on the tokens.
I mean, is it enough?
2, 4,
8,
6,
16,
10,
17.
12, 14, 16, 18.
It can't be.
And then
he does not want to have to pass the turn back.
Do this one too. Do they count that?
That would be 48.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19.
There's a map too, by the
20 if I animate, and then this is 11. So what did I say? 19 plus 20 is 39. Sorry, I can't count.
Just count it again, Matt.
This is hard. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. 52, 59.
No.
7, 14, 21.
Wait, that is enough, isn't it?
60.
60!
60.
The most important math problem in Matt Nass's life.
And it's just...
You just got to add.
Arithmetic.
It's just simple addition here.
He can do math a lot harder than this.
Oh, absolutely. For the
he thinks it's enough, and that's...
Animate.
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 Animate. Oh, man.
Let me just count this one more time. Just
yeah, you really should.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 24, 31, 38.
And that's going to do it. Matt Nass wins Pro Tour Aetherdrift. Math is hard.
Math is hard, especially when you are playing for the title of Pro Tour champion.
Look at Matt.
Well-deserved title here for Matt Nass. Back-to-back 2-hour matches in the domain mirror to finally come out on top here.
We broke Matt Nass. What an incredible victory for Matt as he runs over to his friends and teammates.
What a run here for Matt Nass.
Unbelievable for Matt Nass. Always double check your math.
I would triple, quadruple, quintuple check. That is the biggest attack in Matt Nass's life, and he got in there for 60 in one swing.
Triple check that shit.
Matt had a few minutes to catch his breath before the whole team took the stage for the trophy presentation.
Welcome everyone to the feature match area for the very last time here at Pro Tour Aetherdrift. You've done it. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to give you this trophy and I'm going to tell everyone in the building, please put your hands together and congratulate the Pro Tour champion here in Chicago, Matt Nass.
At this point, everyone in the room could feel the energy radiating off the stage and the exhaustion radiating off of Matt. It was a triumphant moment for the whole team.
Dude, Matt Nass won the Pro Tour. It was amazing, just dominant performance. I think he was literally #1 in the standings for the entire duration of the event, which is like really rare and special. Really amazing to see like a longtime player who's worked hard and everyone knows is really good, like finally breaking through to, you know, career capstone finish. Awesome for Matt, awesome for the team, awesome as a fan of Magic, and yeah, I mean, I'm just couldn't be happier. My portion of the tournament, my turn ended yesterday, but today it was like getting to watch my teammate play the same cards, the same deck, like, you know, cruise through the top 8. It was just so much fun.
Dude, you won the freaking Pro Tour. How you feeling?
Exhausted, but very happy. Yeah, it was a lot. 4-game domain mare into 5-game domain mare is a lot. But
what was the actual last turn like?
He was at 54. It's game 5. I have roughly that much power in play, and I can't figure out whether it's enough or not. I'm normally pretty good at math, but it was a lot of stuff, and if I get it wrong, I'm likely to lose. So it was very confusing. Eventually, I double, triple, quadruple checked it. Right before I did my final check, he actually just picked up his cards even before I declared attackers, which was kind of him because we both kind of agreed it was lethal.
Congrats, dude. So freaking cool. Any parting words?
No, that's about it. Other than you should play the new game that I'm working on, Zuminos.
For Matt, it's a career capstone finish, cementing himself in the Magic history books for all time. For Reid, it's another excellent day in the office, another notch in one of the most consistent careers the Pro Tour has ever seen. And for me, well, it's been quite a ride, but it's the end of a line on this Pro Tour run. But I doubt the Pro Tour has seen the last of me. What's up, folks? We're finally here. Thanks everyone so much for your patience. I know this took forever to come out. Realistically, I bit off more than I could chew. This was such a large project to do with only myself and a part-time assistant, and almost 200 hours went into this project. So much more than I ever could have conceived. But huge thanks to Cassady for working on this so much. And of course, Cassady hasn't worked for me now for a few months. He's been working on it kind of on his own. Huge thanks to Cassady for all this great work on it. And thanks to your patience. And maybe we'll do more stuff like this. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you think, of course. Big thanks to the Pro Tour guys. Playing on Team CFB has been the highlight of my Magic career for the last 3 years, playing on the Pro Tour again. Back in my day when I played PTs, I always played alone. And this time it was been unbelievable. Huge thanks to them for, of course, playing with them. And then, of course, them being cool with the video, answering questions, hanging out, having cameras around. Huge ups. And, of course, big ups to Reid for being second character in the show. Reid's the best. Just no more introduction really necessary there. So your support makes this possible, folks. If you like this, please share it. Please let me know your thoughts on it. Again, this was a huge undertaking. I lost a lot of money making this video, and it's okay. It's labor of love, but yeah, you know, so your support makes that possible. Share, go show grandma, show your friends have watched Magic in a while, and thanks so much. So hopefully we'll do more of these if I'm able to. Thanks for watching. I love you all. See you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Thanks, folks. Appreciate it.